Well, welcome to another segment of SME Matter. Thank you so much for being here. You are welcome. My name is Ndidisia, as I like to say. My name is Ndidisia, and you are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for taking our time to be here. Today, and on another conversation of SME Matter, we have a guest coming up today. But before we even go into all of that, hope you've had a great week. It's been like a whole week we haven't seen, right? Let's just give some people time to join into the live. If you know someone who this would be beneficial to, please take a few minutes, take a few seconds, not minutes, take a few seconds and go invite them to this live, because trust me, every time we spend with creative directors, CEOs of businesses, there's always a lot to learn. There's so much, so much to learn. So today we'll be speaking with a creative director, someone who is in the entertainment space, and trust me, it is not easy to be in that space, and he's about the best there is in his field. Trust me, this conversation is going to be really interesting, really educative. I always say, share this link, share it with someone, share this live with someone, because it is going to be beneficial definitely with someone. SME Matter is proudly sponsored by Stride ERP. Stride ERP is a software, a cloud-based software that helps small businesses manage their business processes from end to end. Say HRO, accounting, asset management, CRO, every single thing. They help you manage your business. And the good thing is, Stride ERP was built specifically with a small business in mind. So do well to share this with anybody you know that this will be beneficial to. Any business owner, small business, medium business, anybody you know that this will be beneficial to. Take a few seconds and copy out that link, share it with someone, because trust me, this is going to be mind blowing. So we're going to be having a creative director, as I said earlier. I'm just going to stop talking now because I know he has a lot to teach us. I know he has a lot to tell us about his business, a whole lot. So I'm just going to go ahead right now and invite him to this call. Yes, he's actually our first male. He's the first time we're having a male join us on this call. We have on this show Denniz Gbedula of Picturesque. Your name, is it really Denniz Gbedula? What is your name? Because I know.
Okay, Denniz Gbedula. Gbedula is a made-up name. It's a name that is coined out from the word "bedu," music. Something you do with music. So I was someone who actually translates music. I turn music into visuals. I can tell a story through music, and like visually, like a visual director, like a visual creative. So there are a lot of my folks back then in school, they were calling me Bedula. It was like a verb, like something like someone who does this Bedu, someone who does this Bedu for us. So that's where the name came up, and we now turned it to Bedula. And Dennis is my real name, so I decided to just add it like Dennis Bedula. That's the name.
Sounds pretty good. The question now is, first off, what is your business name, and how did you start? Because if I know anything, the entertainment space is almost there are lots of people in the entertainment industry. So how did you start? How were you able to find a space, a niche for yourself?
Okay, I started down here in Port Harcourt. My business name is Picturesque. Picturesque, the word picture is something fine, something beautiful. See, I started here in Port Harcourt. I started my tutelage with Bobby Rack, is Rack Entertainment. I started my tutelage from Bobby, so he brought me up and taught me a whole lot of things. I actually didn't go to any film school. I was actually hand taught, like directed,
Okay.
and I started learning all by myself through YouTube, a whole lot of teachers out there, blogs, reading, practicing, trying out a whole lot of things. Then that's where I got myself here. And with a whole lot of competition down here. I think I don't really see competition normally in my life. I usually know that the sky is wide for everyone to fly. So if you're really good at what you are doing, if you're studying, if you're doing a whole lot of research, you get better and you actually pop up in the scene and everybody will see you. They'll really know what you're doing and decide to want to work with you. That's how I think.
Great. Okay, my next question would definitely be, what was your first role as a creative director? Like you did this movie or you did this song all by yourself. What was that song? Because I know everybody remembers their first.
Okay, my first directing, my first directing video was a music video. I'll start from my, let me call it my own first, but there's a one that actually ushered me into the industry. So I'll start from the first one I actually did. It was with my cousin. His name is Samuel Dixon. He's a gospel artist. It's very big down here in the south, and I don't know if most of you know him. So we're actually living in the same house then. So I woke up one morning and I was like, Sammy, you've been playing with your keyboard a whole lot. I've been seeing you do a lot of music, and can I try out something with you? And he's like, no problem. You need to see this crappy video we came up with. But that was the first one I ever did, and I think it allowed me to know my little weakness and try to work on them better. But then the first video I did was for Emmy Lash, the first video that ever screened on Sound City, MTV Base, and all that. Well, it was back then. Let me say it was almost 5 years ago or so. I directed it. It was a music video. I just shot it like a young guy who's just trying to try out his hands, and like as a creative, you really, really don't even believe in what you're doing. You think you're doing nonsense. It's someone else that can actually tell you like, this thing is nice or so. But when I shot that video, I was just thinking it was just an ordinary video until I saw it on MTV Base. So they could play my video on MTV Base like for real. Like I saw it on South City, saw it everywhere, and like everyone was like, "Wow, nice video." But when I was like, what's this? This video is not nice. But that was how it all started, and I started getting more and more opportunities to shoot this kind of videos, and I started experimenting more and enlarging and creating better videos. But I think what was there was just the confidence. I think that video gave me the confidence that I can actually put up something in an international space and it will be accepted. So I think
Yeah,
that's my
I can
first.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was.
can imagine. So when you were starting off, now we are on this question, and you talked about doing something for your cousin and all of that. So when you were starting off, did you have to do a lot of free job? Like, okay, this is my family member or my friend, and because I'm not really having people that want to pay for my service, did you have to do a lot of free job?
Yes, of course. I think everyone in the industry does that. I did a whole lot of tons of free videos, tons of free jobs, free like tons. There was a time in Port Harcourt went to I even did a music video competition for artists. I did it. I even went on radio, announced it, and did some stuff. And I did a music video competition for my company, like a Picturesque. Like Picturesque was the one sponsoring it, and a whole lot of people entered into that. But the artist that popped up was this guy. There was a Port Harcourt gospel artist that won that competition. Um, I think I remember his name, but I have been doing a whole lot of
Free job.
videos. I did a whole lot of videos. Like if I can go into my archive and I can see many videos I did, most of them for free. Most of them was just they take care of my logistics, they take care of my travel expenses, and I would just come there and do it. Most of them was just even me sponsoring these videos. I did a lot. Like I think that's what other creative does too. Or if you're just lucky, maybe if you're really, really lucky. But I think you really, really need to do a lot of free jobs. I
Okay,
gives your
so
own
for how
confidence.
long have you been in the entertainment space? How long has Picturex been in existence? How long have you been doing this?
Okay, I've been in the entertainment space for over 6 years. I will call it 6 years because the other ones I was still on tutorship. Like I wouldn't tell myself that I was out here, but I came up like 6 years ago. But Picture is the company is just 1 year old. I just registered it, so in
Okay.
CAC. So it's just one. That one is
Okay.
just normal registration and all that. But the company has already been operating like for 6 years now, and we've been doing a whole lot.
The good thing about this is I've had the privilege of working with you on one or two occasions, and I see how passionate you are with your job. Someone was saying on the chat, passion and is it consistency or so. So how would you say? Okay, first the first question now is: would you say cinematography is something you are passionate about? Would you say you are really passionate about cinematography, and what has kept you in the same space for 6 years?
Okay, I would think it's passion. I think every creative has something that drives them. I think it's passion. Normally, in the film industry, in the film world, every every artist, every worker has a production house they emerge from. Like in film world, there's the cinematography, there's scripting, there's light, there's gaffer, there's all that. All those things encompass and make it filmmaking. But every filmmaker you see out there came out from a production house. Mine was cinematography. I came up from cinematography. That's my primary um, part I play in filmmaking. That's where my passion lies. That's where I can do anything I like. I can wake up in the morning, whatever, and just tell me to shoot something, and I'll still come up with something good. So I think it's cinematography. I'm really, really more grounded in cinematography. Is the one that breaks every other thing. Even if I'm taking a drone shot, it still boils down to my cinematography. It's like someone who is a scriptwriter who came up from a scriptwriter house, production house. All of his movies will be more on the writing. The strength will be on the writing, the script, how perfect the script will be. So that's my own is if you're seeing most of my stuffs, the higher strength will be on cinematography because that's where I came from. So that's where the passion lies.
Okay, so before we go further in this conversation, let's pay some bills. Like I said earlier, SME Matter is sponsored by Stride ERP. Stride ERP is a cloud-based ERP solution that helps small business manage their end-to-end process. It helps you manage your business on the go. You can manage your accounting, your CRM, HR, every single thing about your business can be handled on your mobile phone. You don't have to be in your office present. You don't have to take your system along with you, even if it works with the system, but it also works with the mobile phone. So do well to check out Stride ERP's website. And now let's go back to the conversation. We have on this show Denniz Gbedula of Picturesque. I will even lie, Dennis. Before this conversation, I didn't know how to pronounce your business name. I used to call it picture Q. I think that's
Oh,
how that's
a whole lot
honestly
of people do that. They
that's
call
how
it even till now. A
that's
lot
how
of
I
people
pronounce
make
it.
that mistake. They call it
So
picture.
why picture X? Why is that name? How did it come about? Is there a story behind it?
I'm really more of a reader. I read a lot. I read more, so I am good with words. I know a whole lot of words. So the word is only this is the only word that can actually explain how beautiful I see things, how beautiful I see particular expressions, especially from cameras, how I express things, how beautiful it translates. So picturesque is like something you can only imagine. So that was the word. I was actually looking for a word to create to actually term that particular imagination. So that's where pictures came up, and I think pictures was the word. I didn't even know a lot of people would not be able to pronounce it. If not, I wouldn't have chosen that name because even till now, it's still giving me a lot of issues. Like a lot of people are like picturesque, I mean pictures too. Even when I was trying to register the company, I was trying to register the company. The guys they went there and they felt I was writing a very wrong word. So
they decided to now write it picture and skill. Picture Skill Entertainment Limited. I was like, no, this is one word, Picturesque. It's not picture and skill. So
Okay.
so that's it. I think
Okay.
that's the
Okay,
word.
so
That
if you're joining in on this conversation, please do well to send in your messages. If you have any question for Dennis or the cinematography world, I'm sure he would have time to answer all of that. But somebody here is asking, are your equipment purchased locally or do you have to import them? How does the instability in exchange rates affect your pricing? The first question is your equipment, do you have to purchase, do you get them locally or you have to import them, and how does, if you import them, how does the instability in exchange rate affect your pricing?
yes, that's a very big one. That's a very very big one. Yeah. Down here in Nigeria, most of our equipments, I must say, are not in Nigeria. Most of them, we have to actually import them. Or even if you try to see them imported in Nigeria, like already in Lagos or so, the prices are very, very high. And most of the time, they don't have what you want. Most of the time, we import. So we really, really import a lot. Filmmakers, cinematographers, photographers, they import. Please, whenever you see one, hug them. Just try and hug them. Like they are trying. They import a whole lot of things, even down to little things like memory cards. They import them. And you all know the how all this the price thing goes with the dollar and all that. It affects a whole lot. It affects really really lot. Like there are things you can just want to buy that is just let me say like a 50,000 naira, but the next moment you're checking, you're buying that same thing for 130,000, and then your clients will still expect you to still charge the exact amount you're charging while you charge like what you charged like a month ago. So what we do is that what we do here is that since these prices fluctuate, we have a threshold of price where we don't go down to or where we don't go up to. So at some point you lose or gain. At some point you lose or gain. But we just have a price range, and every time these prices changes. Like in filmmaking, like in me now, like my own, I don't think filmmaking has a fixed price. Doesn't have a fixed price for a particular thing. For example, you want to shoot a music video. I don't think there's a fixed price and say, okay, fine, yeah, this 1 million can do this video. No. Whenever we want to shoot, we go into that production and find out what and what we need. And at that point, we find out what it would cost to make that video at that point based on the exchange rates, based on every other thing, based on all the prices that is at that time. If you're coming to like if you're planning to make a film where someone is falling from the sky or someone is falling from a 100-story building or so, and we need to get a crane and something to pull that off, the prices of those things can change on every time, and we can also still find better ways to do it for you. That's why I said this prices varies based on what you want to do. That's why we say import affects to a point, but not all that. But we import everything if you're asking. If you're really asking, we import
Okay.
everything. We import a whole lot.
Okay. Talking about shooting music videos, I know you do a lot of that. My question now is, how does it feel being behind the scene? And you know that this music is something people would enjoy, but then possibly just the end credit goes to you as a director, but you're not seen. How does it feel being behind the scene?
I think it's just it's a natural thing. I think it's a path we chose, and I think we enjoy it that way. We enjoy it that way, but we are not really the screen people. We're not even really interested that much to be on the screen. Like people, directors like Quentin Tarantino, people like a whole lot of that. It's only we filmmakers that know them, but they have done great films, they have done major big films, and you don't even know them. I think me, naturally me, if you're putting the camera in front of me, it's kind of awkward. I really don't like it, but I know how to make you look good in your camera, but I don't want to really be out there. I like being in the back to create. I think it's something that comes with a natural thing. Except there is a director who also has another love for being on screen too, for to being out there, to being in front of the camera. But we would just want to create. So
So, what has been the most difficult part of running your business? What has been the
uh,
most difficult part of both running your business and being a cinematographer? What has been um,
most of our challenges are a whole lot. We have some difficult ones, but most
so
of
the
our
question is what you the question is directed to you, not
okay,
cinematographers in general.
okay.
You.
Most my difficult
Yeah.
part is NEPA. Like PACN,
Sorry, what
like
do you mean by NEPA? We don't have NEPA in
PACN, like
Nigeria.
PACN. These guys that give us light in this Nigeria.
Oh, okay, the
Those
distribution
that
company. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So those are the highest challenges. Like in fact, their challenges is over the roof. Like these guys are the problem. They are the major problem. Personally, to me, like I don't even know what to do about them. In fact, it's because of us. They came up with very serious power solutions like better generators, batteries, inverters. Because of me. It's because of me they brought these things. But these guys are, I wish the government is watching this. They should know that these guys are the problem with our
I'm sure
creativity.
it gets better with time. I'm sure it gets better with time. So somebody else is asking, don't worry, it gets better with time. Trust me, it gets better with time. So somebody else is asking, how do you manage accidents on shoot site? Say you're in the middle of a production and an accident happened. What kind of accident do you even experience during um your shoot?
Okay, we have accidents like we have hazard accident caused by workers, um,
Okay.
maybe camera falling and all that. But if it's injury accident, because I can't really clear, I don't even know exactly the kind of accident you're talking about. But what I'm thinking is that you're talking about accident like injury accident based on maybe trying to portray a particular scene, maybe someone running, jumping, and all that, and they have an injury. We usually have first aids around if we are shooting something that is accident prone. We have first aids around, and if we are shooting on the road where there are moving cars and everything, we always bring up our own kind of safety where we stop cars, create a roadblock or something that can relink the cars somewhere else so they don't pass and hit someone. But usually we have a first aid. If because from script we will know that this particular scene is hazardous and could cause injury, so we will have first aid first. Then if it escalates, we can go to the hospital or something. But I don't think I've really experienced an accident because naturally me I'm a safe person, so I usually just know what to do if we are going to encounter any kind of accident. So I really
Okay.
just plan ahead of it.
Okay, so we have a question here. This one, someone is asking, what is the best and the worst job you have? What is your best and worst job yet? I don't know if that question is clear to you. So I'm guessing what is the best job you have directed so far? Yeah, best job, worst job, and all of that.
Okay, I think that's simple. My best job is my most recent job. I always try to make sure I do better than my past. So my best job is the most recent. There's a recent video I just did, and it's going on YouTube base and all that very soon. It's just out now to the client. So if you have the opportunity to watch the video, you will know that's my best job. And but there are a whole lot of best jobs out there. The previous one, the one I shot before this one, is the best job. So if it's the worst ones, I have worse experiences. Yeah, I have very worse experiences.
Talking about worst experiences, have you ever gone back to actually watch your first video, the video your very first video, that one you were telling us about just now? Have you ever gone back and what was your reaction like? when you actually saw what you
I don't
did
even,
6 years
I
ago?
can't even stand watching it. I can't even watch it. I can't even watch the video. I will just be shouting, I want this. And I will be thinking, am I the one that did this video? I like this. God, who even do this kind of thing? You see, but not normally, that's not my worst. So let me share a very small worst experience I had back then. Okay, I was handling an event, a little event like it's a wedding event, and we're using all these little DV cameras and normal camera, the bigger camcorder cameras. That was really back then. So one of my guys had to plug the power jack, and we did not know that this camera wasn't recording audio. For the whole wedding, three cameras was recording without audio. So
Wow.
came back to the studio and realized that there was no audio from the whole wedding. So everybody was just looking like we didn't even hear what they're saying, like nothing. Like I don't even know how to even explain to the clients, like, hey guy, look at, we just have to turn the, but that was the worst. That was really, really worst. I think it taught me a whole lot. It taught me many things from how to be patient with clients and how to relate to clients, everything. And there's another one again attached to that same one, that same kind of mistake. The reason I'm saying this kind of mistakes is that when I'm saying this here on live is that out there, you guys are the end product and you guys are the clients. And if a videographer walks something down to you with this kind of problem, you should know it happens. You should. There's the second one. The guy was just recording the ground. The whole footage was just his leg walking. He was just walking. Like I just showing his leg. Now, probably the issue with this problem was that while he's pressing record is when he's holding the camera, walking, maybe trying to switch positions. Then when he wants to record, he will now press cut, which is supposed to be record, and now raise his camera up and start recording nothing. Now the camera was not recording, you record. Then when you like, okay, fine, I don't want to record anymore, you now press record and drop it down and walk. Okay, woo, woo, you will see him leg. Woo, woo, woo. You just be walking, walking, walking. That was everything. That was the whole wedding. Leg. Okay. So those are the real experience. Those are my worst experiences. I mean, what those two. I've had more.
Awesome.
Mm.
Really, it's been awesome chatting with you. We are almost we are out of time actually, but I think a lot of people
Oh,
are enjoying this conversation. So I'm just going to ask you one more question. So somebody's asking, have you ever refused to take a job based on certain principles you may have as an individual, like
okay.
moral, yeah, some jobs that does not sit right with you. Basically, have you ever had to reject a job based on your values, based on moral morals and all?
Okay, and that's a very difficult one because I'm a businessman, and as a businessman, we usually don't we just rule out all that. We're all about how much we are getting paid and how much value we're bringing to you. But I understand your question. Actually, it's about morals and all that. The only thing I do is in my job. The only way I refuse jobs, the only way I can turn down jobs is if the person or the party involved are not up to it. Let me explain. For example, I can't do a video for an artist whose song is back. So doesn't tell anything. There's no promotional value for it. So
So are you saying
most
you know when a video when a music is going to be worked before even shooting it?
yes, that's part of the job. Before you be
Okay.
a director, you're supposed to have seen everything from start. Like if you're bringing a wax song, a very very wax song, and maybe we have checked you, you're not the kind of person who can go back to producing it again, and maybe you're thinking that's your final, that's your best. I think we can turn it down. because
Okay.
yes, we turn down a whole lot of songs like that, songs that are not promotionally valued. Because what we do is we also have a business name to protect. For example, if you go to Lagos, you go to the bigger brands like Capital Dreams and all that, you can't take a wax song to Capital Dreams. They would also turn it down. So
So,
you
in essence, in the industry, there's a way to know a work song because honestly, what is work to you may not be work to me. But if you're saying in your business space, say in the cinematography world, there's a way to know a work song and a not work song. That's fine
yes
because
no
but as an individual, what is work to you may not necessarily be work to me. But if you're saying in your space, there's a way to know a work song. I mean,
Yes,
that's understandable.
there's a skill to it, just like what you said about being whacked to me and not being whacked to you. You know, music is general. Music production is kind of very big. We know songs that have just hit promotional value. I might not like the song. The song might not be my genre, might not be my kind of music, but I will know if the song is good to go. Even
Okay,
if
okay.
it's
So because we need to move very fast. I mean, people are still sending in some more questions. So there's this question that I think is very important we take. How big is your team? Do you hire on demand and then disband once the project is done? How big is your
okay.
team?
My team is just 10 persons for now, but we hire based on the volume of the production.
Okay.
We outsource from other production houses if the production is very big. Even away there, they do it. You know, you see two to three production houses coming together to produce a particular film or so. But I have 10 in-house people who work with me on projects, on my own kind of project or stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah,
there's
but
this other very important question we should take. What inspired you to develop your idea, to develop ideas? So I'm thinking the question is, what inspires you when you are coming up with creative ideas? What inspires you to come up with how to shoot, what scene? Because I'm guessing that's also your role. Basically, the creative director. How do you want this music to turn out? So the person is asking what inspires you to develop ideas.
okay. Naturally, with me, I don't need a particular thing to push my inspiration. It comes naturally because building concept for a particular song or a film comes from your experience, comes from your past, comes from things you've seen, traveling, all that. So whenever you listen to a song, whenever you listen to a song, it originally starts building. I start seeing the song has life. For example, I say the Lord. If I just start seeing it and I'll now build it cinematographically, like okay, fine, this is a set, these actors and all that. But I know where your question is directed to. Maybe if I'm having a creativity block or something. If I'm having a creativity block, I usually just go work out. I work out
Okay.
and clear my head a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, Dennis, try not to sing. Just continue being behind the camera. Don't sing again, please, because that voice will irritate me. I don't know. So one last question. What was your most challenging project and why? What was your most
Okay.
challenging project and why?
The most challenging project I had was shooting one of my short films. Back then, it's because of, but the reason, the why is funds. Funds is the problem, money. Okay, I wasn't having funds coming through, and I had to do it all by myself. I had to do it, pay everybody, logistics also all by myself. I think that was the most challenging project. You know, when you're just starting, nobody wants to listen to you also. So you have to actually show something you can do. So I think that was the most challenging project because a lot of people came late for production because you're not paying them. A lot of equipments were not there. Some location we wanted to use, they would refuse. They tell you that you don't have access to those kind of places. But later on, I realized it was money. You didn't pay them. So, so everything boils down to the funds. You see, that was the most challenging my short film. But actually, the film made it to Echo Film Festival that year. So,
Nice,
God,
nice.
I
So
love.
I said that was going to be my next, my last question, but I think talking about funds now, I have one other last question. So how have you been able um, to pull through? Starting a business, you said nobody wants to listen to you and all of that. How have you been able to pull through? Um, have you been able to get any grant? Have you been able to get a loan? Basically, how have you been able to pull through for your
Okay.
business financially?
Financially, we are still struggling with it. We are trying to still push with our own funds and major things. But most times, I get support from people. I have a lot of support. I have support from most of my friends abroad, who have seen me do things, and so they fund little projects that I'm doing. So, but it is a grants part. I've really not assessed any grants yet. Maybe I have not gotten the right profiling for to assess those kind of grants or so, but I'm still working on that. But basically, we are still struggling with it. We are still
Yeah, I mean,
feeling.
I mean, grant is something you should consider for your business, because I mean there are lots of them out there. There are lots of them out there, so you should really consider it for your business. That
Yeah, I'm
is
looking for
all that.
them. I'm looking for them. If
Yeah.
you have one, please send them.
You
Yeah, I'm here.
follow us on our page. We have these guests. Follow Stride ERP, and of course turn on the post notification bell, because we have guests like this come on and they educate us not only on how to get this grant, but how to access it. You know.
Okay.
So if you follow us, I'm sure you get that information when we have those guests come on our live. So thank you so much, Denniz Gbedula. Thank you so much for giving us time, for your time and all. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate. Unfortunately, that's all that we can take for this conversation today. It was really a pleasure having you.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I really appreciate this.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. We'll see you next week, Thursday by 4 p.m. Stay tuned and stay blessed, of course. Stay blessed, stay safe, and stay well.